Making Moves Monday on a Monday night. And before I get into my topic on tonight, I have a scripture for you. Wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desires come, it is a tree of life. He who despises the word will be destroyed, but he who fears the commandments will be rewarded. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11 and 13. And my topic on tonight is the Super Bowl money. And before I get into anything about the Super Bowl, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you that if you were listening to me on Friday when I told you my Super Bowl prediction, you would have made yourself some extra money if you're a betting person, that is. I told you all that if you looked at your Roku, it showed you who was going to actually win. I do have people that I know who are into different conspiracy theories. And so somebody hit me up and he told me about it. I looked at the actual Roku and it showed me that there was a W under the light for the Eagles. And it was shaped differently than the light that was up under for Kansas City. And if you saw the game, you saw that the Eagles definitely took it to them. It wasn't even close, to say the least. And then I have about 3 friends that I know of that are definitely happy that the Eagles won. They know who they are. I'll probably hit them up when I get some time. But anywho, with that being said, definitely this could have been something if you would have picked up on that and seen my video. And you can go back and check it. One of my last videos, my Fan First Friday, and I said in there that the Eagles were going to win. It's at the end of the video though. But moving on to other things as far as the Super Bowl, definitely when the Super Bowl is actually going on, a lot of people are actually making a lot of money. And then there's a lot of things that people actually sacrifice so that they can actually make the kind of money that they will make in the future. So this is where you will see that a lot of people are making a lot of money during the Super Bowl time, and a lot of people are making extra moves and getting things together so that they can be ready for when the Super Bowl actually comes. So with that being said, with ourselves, we need to be able to actually start making moves as well when we know things are actually coming or things are just around the corner. It may not be the Super Bowl, but even for those who are in Frisco, this coming Sunday, they will be preparing for the All-Star game. So that means there's going to be a lot of money actually coming to that actual city. And so people out there in Frisco should be getting themselves ready for making moves so that they can actually make more money in this year. And so the same way with yourself, you need to start looking at what's coming in my city, what's about to be the next thing that they're actually about to build, what's the new store that's about to actually come into my town, what are the plans in my actual city. And these things will help you to actually make moves and do things ahead of time so that you don't actually miss out on the big bang. Alright, so one of the big things in every Super Bowl is always the commercials. Usually the commercials may be for about 30 seconds to a possible minute, possibly. And in that 30 seconds to a minute, most companies are willing, I believe the total was average was about $8 million that people actually paid, different companies paid, so that they can actually have whatever they're selling in the actual Super Bowl. Now, this is very important because $8 million, for a lot of companies may not be that cheap, but it is not something that you just want to use and actually waste it. But these companies are smart. they do what they're trying to advertise during the biggest time where most people are going to be actually watching and tuned in to the actual TV. So this is something that they actually take advantage of, knowing that, hey, these people are going to be watching at this time, and this is when I need to actually take advantage, because even if they don't like my brand or they don't like what I actually do, they may remember the commercial, and when they remember the commercial, they may actually say, oh, okay, that's a brand, I could actually buy them. They'll actually trust what you actually have, and they may be more willing to actually buy your product just because they saw your commercial. And even if your product actually sucks and it's not actually that good, just because your commercial may be good and it may make them laugh, it may make them feel a certain type of way, this may actually push them to actually buy your product and actually want to pick up the item that you're actually selling to them. So this is why so many companies are willing to use the Super Bowl as a good way to actually advertise their whatever product or service that they're trying to get you to get, because this is going to be in your head and you may remember it, and then this is going to cause you to actually want to get it. And then, like I said, not everybody's going to like your product, not everybody's going to like what you're trying to sell, not everybody's going to want it, but if you get 10% of those people who are actually eyeballing and watching, or even if you don't get 10%, if you get 5%, that's still money that will be coming into your actual business. Money and people that you possibly didn't have or possibly were not actually buying your product. So, with saying all that, for those of us who have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and other streaming platforms, we should be using this to actually make money for ourselves. Even though it's free, you're able to actually utilize these things to actually make more money. So this is a good way for you to promote any business that you actually have. This is a good way, but with your content or whatever you actually do, to actually get a whole lot of followers, and then you can become a content creator, and more people can follow you, and then the more people that follows you, you can actually get paid from it. So you should do the same thing that they're doing. Take advantage of these platforms that you do have and use those to your advantage. Another thing you should have possibly caught, if you are an actual football fan, and definitely if you're an Eagles fan, one of the things is they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago and they played up against Kansas City. They played a good game up against Kansas City, but they came up short in the end and they actually lost that game. And then they had to go back to the drawing board. They went back last year to the drawing board, but it didn't actually help them out. They didn't have a great season. They did make the playoffs, but they did not make it to the Super Bowl. So they had to change a lot of their roster. If you look at their defense, a lot of the players that they had in that Super Bowl 2 years ago were not starters on their team this year. And then even with their coaches and a lot of their coordinators, they're not the same people that were there 2 years ago. So they had to go in and they had to redo what they already had, and they had to make some changes. So all these changes actually helped them to get the prize that they were trying to get this season. So in the same way in your life, with whatever you're doing, you may have to actually make some changes to what you're actually doing. You may have to go out and evaluate what it is that you're actually doing and what you're doing wrong and what you can do better and what you can do right, who to probably get out of your life and who to keep in your life that's going to be a positive influence for you. So with doing these things, this will help you to achieve the goal that you're actually trying to do or that you're actually trying to make. If you get certain people out of your life, and if you get certain habits that aren't good for you out of your life, this will help you to achieve the goal that you actually want to achieve. So we can definitely learn that from the Eagles and what they actually did, and this time they actually succeeded in winning the Super Bowl. So I hope you do the same. Figure out what it is that is causing you to not move ahead and get ahead, and then make that change to get those things out of your life and to change the things that you can change. But no matter what you do, as the Eagles did, keep on going. It may not happen right away. It may not happen this year. It may not happen next year. But if you keep on going, eventually you can get to your goal. Okay, lastly, the Super Bowl performance by Kendrick Lamar. I think this was a good example of you actually doing something and then it benefiting you in the actual future. The reason why I say that is because allegedly he did not actually get paid to actually do that performance. Now, even in the past, when other people have performed at the Super Bowl, allegedly they have not been paid either. And the reason for that is because they get all of their actual show paid for in their production. So all of the money that the NFL and others put into it goes to the actual show to make sure they're able to put on the best show that they could possibly put on. So with that being said, a lot of people still choose to actually do the Super Bowl because after they do the Super Bowl, like I was saying with the commercial, they're in front of the biggest audience that they would probably ever be in front of. And they have all these eyeballs on them. So they're able to actually do what they actually do as far as performing, and they get a lot of people who possibly never heard of them or probably never seen them before to actually see them. And then this will boost up their streamings. This will boost up people buying their music. This will boost up people actually knowing who they are and then possibly wanting to get some of their music. So this is why people will choose to actually do the Super Bowl and not actually get paid for it, because they know in return they're going to be getting paid on the back end in terms of people actually listening to their music and what they actually do. So this is why you would go and actually do the Super Bowl performance. Now, another thing as far as the production, it definitely will help out a lot of other people that you may actually know. When you think about when Dr. Dre did it, he brought in other artists. Kendrick Lamar was one of those artists that he brought in to actually perform with him. So this actually helped to boost up their status as well. So this is just something to think about in terms of what you can actually do to actually boost up yourself and probably bring some of your friends and others that you know to actually make more money. There may be some things that come in your life, like if you have some type of talent or some type of skill or some type of business that you actually do, and you actually do some things for free and just help people out in need, or just do something where you say, hey, I'm going to just use my talents and show you guys some things that I actually know. This can open up more doors for you. So you should always look to sometimes do things for people just out of the kindness of your heart, because in return they may open up doors for you that may be bigger, that actually helps you to get paid more money, or that may actually introduce you to somebody who is actually willing to pay you for the talents that you actually have. Now, some of the people that are used to experiencing that would be people who possibly wait tables, or servers, or works at different bars, or people, the valets that actually parks people's cars. When people feel like they have been taken care of and that the person that's serving them has done an actual good job, they will actually tip them and give them possibly a great tip just because their service was good. They like how their energy was and how polite they actually were. So this is why it's important that sometimes you just do things for the sake of doing them, and then this will open up more doors to you. But then this goes back to what I was saying earlier too, in terms of you having a free platform social media that you can actually get on and actually show your talents and show what you're capable of actually doing. Use that to your advantage so that it can help you out in the long run. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but you never know what the future may actually hold for you. So that's why you should use it to your ability to actually help to lift up whatever it is that you're trying to do. Alright, so this has been another Making Moves Monday. And remember, one move can change your whole life. Making moves. Alright, so this has been another Making Moves Monday. And remember, one move can change your whole life. Making moves.